Hey guys, welcome back to the NFL Pick 6 Show, Week 3 edition. You know, it was a good week of football. I didn't do too well, but my dad's board did, so...
Yeah, it was a tough week for you. I think you put a donut on the board, right? An offer.
Yeah.
First offer ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Not proud.
Yeah, and I went 0-2. I'm sorry, I went 0-2. I went 3-2. Nolan went 0-5. And as a show, we went 2-3.
Yeah.
So
we're, making progress.
That maths out almost right.
Progress.
Progress, yes. And and we did get eliminated from the Survivor. Us being geniuses the week before, we thought we were just doing the right thing, taking Baltimore. They blew it up, and it was horrible.
Yeah, they're not looking too good.
Yeah. So we will still give you a Survivor recommendation. I am still in another Survivor League on my own that does have a second chance. I also took Baltimore in that one. It does go into a second chance pool, which is still a big prize. So we'll still give a pick every week, but we are out of the circus.
Yeah. All right, you want to just get right into it?
Yeah, let's dive in.
All right, you can start this time.
Okay, I think I started last week. Are you sure? You want that?
No.
Okay.
All right. So for my first pick, this team has been absolutely balling out recently, and I have Tampa Bay -7 at home against Denver, who hasn't been putting it much up offensively at all. Bo Nix, maybe one touchdown this season, and Denver's Tampa Bay balling out.
I don't hate this pick. I actually, spoiler alert, it is my Survivor pick. I don't love the 7, but I mean, the way Tampa's playing and the way Denver's playing, I mean, I don't see how they don't destroy them. Yeah,
and it's honestly Baker Mayfield. The way he's playing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
He's playing like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL right now. It's. I did not expect this out of Baker Mayfield. Chris Godwin is actually balling out this year. Mike Evans putting up some numbers. Tampa Bay's looking good.
Yeah, no, I don't hate the pick. It's not on my board. I feel like it's going to come out 7.5 for the Circa, or even 7, but I'm okay with it.
All right.
For me, my first pick is Detroit -3 on the road at Arizona. I know it sounds a little crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think they're two different levels of good. So I think Arizona is a very good team. I don't think in any way that Arizona is a Super Bowl contender.
Really?
Whereas I think that the Lions are a Super Bowl contender. So after the tough loss last week, I think that they're really going to be out for blood. And I think there's not much of a home field advantage with it still being an indoor stadium or a turf stadium. And I just see them taking care of business.
Yeah, I don't know about this one because the Lions are kind of struggling on offense.
They are.
I mean, last week they did horrendous. And honestly, the week before, it was nothing special either. The Rams, I mean, they barely pinched it out,
Yeah, but I think the Rams really played a great game.
I don't know. I don't think the Rams played too good,
no,
man.
I think they did.
I don't hate it, but I'd probably be on the other side. I'd probably have Arizona +3.
I get that because you went 0-5 last week, so that makes sense.
So I guess it's just going to be a thing.
This is going to be a thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for my second pick, I have the Bills -5.5 at home against Jacksonville.
Finally off of Jacksonville.
Yeah. Finally off Jacksonville after their performance. All right. I'll give you credit. But the Bills are looking better than I thought. And it's not even really the Bills. It's actually just Josh Allen. I hate the Bills. I hate Josh Allen. But I do give credit when it's due. I kind of just quoted Jamar Chase right there. And Josh Allen has been balling out recently.
Yeah, and Bills are at home?
Yep.
Yeah, I do like this game. I looked at it a little bit. I didn't take it, but it was on my maybes. I had 2 maybes.
Okay.
So I'm probably not going to fight you really hard on that one.
Right.
I get scared when you've got an 0-2 team, especially with Jacksonville that arguably could have won week 1, barring that turnover.
Yeah.
So that does scare me a little bit because they needed a little bit more, but I'm not a big believer in Trevor Lawrence at all, and so I like the Bills.
All right.
Next for me is another crazy one. Put my 2 crazies in the beginning. Another road team. I like Miami +4.5 at Seattle. I know this sounds crazy. Tua not playing, no brain left, right? But Skylar Thompson with time to prepare was phenomenal in the playoffs. Almost won a 10-point spread, I think it was, in the playoffs. Seattle, to me, is just horrible. Like, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah,
like that.
honestly, I haven't either. I was really high on them, and they are.
Yeah,
just-
well, we took him as our survivor pick in week 1,
Yeah.
and we luckily got through that sweat.
yeah, they're barely squeezing out against.
And they
the
played
teams.
Denver, and now that we realize how bad Denver really is, that makes me think Seattle's even that much worse.
Yeah, I mean, they almost lost to the Patriots in overtime too. I'm not saying the Patriots are bad anymore. I know I flamed them week 1. I'm loving them.
Yeah.
Loving them. Jacoby Brissett. What a goat. What a goat.
Well, so I'm getting 4.5. It was 5. It's already moved down to 4.5. I'm not sure how low it's going to go. Hopefully it at least sticks at 4. I love that more than the 3 points. I don't see Miami losing this game. And worst case scenario, I think they're only going to lose by a field goal if that does happen. I think that we've seen that Seattle can't stop the run.
Yeah.
So if Miami sticks to what they can do with their running backs,
Yeah.
it's going to open up that passing game. And I just don't think Seattle's going to be able to keep up.
All right.
So that's why I like the points.
All right. Well, for my next pick, I think, you say you're good at reading the games. I think this is a pretty good read. I don't know if you're going to like it, but I'm not going off like the stats this time like I usually do.
Hey, sometimes
I'm
it's
going
all
off
about the
like,
feel.
I'm going off like that little tingle.
Yeah. What do you got?
Right. Cincinnati -7.5 at home against Washington. The only reason why I'm thinking this is Cincinnati's lost 2 games already, and everyone's kind of flaming them.
Yep.
This is a bad team. Well, I'm not saying Washington's terrible. Well, all right, they're not. They're terrible, but they're not like the worst.
Yeah.
But they're not that good at all. So I think this is an opportunity for Cincinnati to get some firepower on offense going, put up a couple touchdowns, take a big win at home.
Okay. I left 2 picks off my board. And one of the ones that just made the cut was Cincinnati -7.5.
All right.
So I like this pick. It's Monday night game.
Yep.
They have to do something sometimes. We know that the Bengals always struggle
Yeah.
to start the season. We've kind of seen what we've seen out of Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think they handily win this game.
Yeah, I was gonna say Washington barely squeezed out against the Giants. So.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. Well,
So
we agree on a pick.
We agree on a pick.
Thank you. Because that was one of my favorites. Can't lie.
Yeah, well, it's on there. It was more of a strong lean for me, but it made the board. So
All right.
we definitely agree on that. All right, my next one is Baltimore -1 at Dallas. So this is a little bit similar to my theory that we were talking about with Seattle playing Denver and seeing that they're not as good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Cowboys are as good as we kind of all thought they were after week 1. We're like, oh, maybe they are going to be good because everybody thought they weren't going to be great here. I don't think they're as great as people think. I think Baltimore is much better than their games show.
I don't know.
I know you don't agree with that. I don't think Lamar Jackson showed up for that game at all. I don't know what his deal is. He showed up big time for that Chiefs game. Wasn't effective, in my opinion, against the Chiefs.
I was gonna say I don't know if he showed up.
But I think he was really into the game and trying to win it, and they almost did beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So I like them. I don't see Harbaugh going 0-3
Okay.
in any world.
Yeah.
I think they go, and it's only 1 point. I like them taking them.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a terrible pick. I mean,
my picks are terrible.
well, you also have to think the Cowboys just got blown out at home.
Yep.
And their fans are kind of, they're pretty mad, and they're kind of expecting, a good game here against Baltimore.
I just want to remind you and the audience that I am sitting at 60% against the spread, and Nolan is sitting at 10% against the spread. Next pick.
Wow, this is great. All right. So for my next pick, I brought them up earlier in the show, and now I'm gonna give you why I'm picking this. All right.
Okay.
I have the Patriots plus 6.5 at the Jets.
Okay.
All right. So hear me out.
I left this off my card because it was a Thursday night game,
Okay. Well, here's the thing.
but I just want to let you know I had the other side.
All right. Well, hold on. I'm just gonna put this out there.
Go ahead, hit me.
Okay. So the Jets.
Yep.
They looked terrible week 1.
Yep.
Week 2, they kind of showed a little something. Honestly, the only thing that was good was Brees Hall. He was the only good player on the Jets last week.
Yep.
And I mean, that's the truth.
And I'm not very high on Tennessee, which is why
Yeah.
I picked the Jets last week.
No, same. That's why I went.
Yeah, and I think if Tennessee had actually had a really decent game,
Which they were
I don't
having.
think the Jets cover that game.
Yeah.
So
And so, look, 6.5 is a big spread.
Yep.
You know, Thursday and Monday night games, and usually Sunday night as well, they're not high scoring. They're pretty low scoring, pretty close. I'm thinking like a 18-12 kind of game, just like I know, like the Bears-Texans game on Sunday night. It wasn't that exact score, but it was something like that. So I'm thinking something like that again, but maybe even closer, honestly. Like, I'm thinking a 3-point difference. Patriots playing good, Jets not playing, they're not as good. I think this is a good pick.
Okay, that one terrifies me the most out of all of them.
Okay.
You've given so far, but I like the logic behind it. You're getting 6.5 points, Thursday night games. If you guys are
divisional, don't remember that. Those are always close, and the Patriots play everyone great in their division.
They do. I agree with that. And Thursday night games typically go under.
Yeah.
So if it's going to go under, you have much better chance if you're getting 6.5 points.
Yeah.
Perfect spread.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Patriots, like even last year, how terrible they were last year. They played everyone in their division really good.
Yeah,
and
I think there was an
games.
amazing Jets-Patriots game that came down to the wire.
Yep.
Last year.
So that was my theory. Thursday night game, low scoring, big spread. Patriots playing good, Jets not as good.
Yep.
Divisional game.
Okay. All right. My last pick, because I already agreed with you on Cincinnati, is Cleveland at home -6.5
Okay.
against the New York Giants. So it's almost an auto play going against the Giants.
Yep.
In my opinion, at this point.
Honestly, that was the one that didn't make my card, but it was like it was interchangeable. So I really liked the pick actually. So
Okay, because after watching them against Washington, and we were on Washington, we had to sweat that out. Washington ended up covering, and Washington did not play well. So
it did not.
I don't see any way that Cleveland doesn't go in there and take care of business. I don't see the Giants scoring a touchdown in that game, and obviously they can't kick an extra point or a field goal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they don't put up any points. So I like Cleveland in that game.
Yeah, I could see a donut coming from the Giants. No, I actually do like that pick a lot, and I kind of had a feeling, after looking at the spreads, you were gonna put that on your card.
Yeah.
So I went with the other game just to throw it out there. I want to see what you think of it.
Sure.
I have the Texans -2.5 at Minnesota.
Okay.
Minnesota's playing really well right now.
They are.
Texans, they're playing, I'd say, about where they were supposed to be playing, maybe even a little less than that, in my opinion. They didn't do too great against the Bears.
Yep.
This is under 3 points, so it's really just Texans got to win. And I think this is where Minnesota's going to kind of take a little step back for a second. And, they got really lucky. They're coming in hot, high on their heads, took out the Niners. I really think this is the time for the Texans to just kind of go in there and be like, okay,
Yeah.
hold your horses, calm down.
Is this game at Texas?
No, it's in Minnesota.
Okay. So the Texans are the kings of winning by 1 or 2 points. So the 2.5 point is always nerve-wracking, especially with the Texans. I don't know how they do it, but I think if you looked it up, they've probably covered less 2.5 point spreads than anybody, because you always think, 2.5, I'm going to get the 3. So they always say take the 2.5, lay the 3.5 is basically the rule of gambling. Obviously, it's not a guaranteed thing, but it's usually what they say. That being said, I would love it if they were at home. A little scared, but I do love the letdown factor. With Minnesota coming off a big win.
I mean, the Texans are kind of just, like you said, speaking out these last couple games. They got to get a big win in here. Because their offense is moving slower than we expected. Tank Dell hasn't really gotten too much. Stephon Diggs had a good game against the Colts. But if you look at the stats, he only had 36 yards and 2 touchdowns. All his touchdowns are on the goal line. Nico Collins now, he's balling. He's the highest. He leads the league in receiving yards, 256 or something like that. So, I don't know. I think this is a good time for the Texans to get this offense going.
Well, I expected it. I mean, the Texans are on your card every week. So I did expect it coming. I was secretly hoping you were going to put on Indy because I kicked Indy off the board
Okay, see,
at the last second.
I was gonna put Indy on there too. I don't know. I was thinking about it too. I was kind of skeptical. Like Texans, Cleveland. I took off Cleveland because I knew you were gonna put it on there, and then Indy.
Yeah.
Those were honestly, and I have one more too.
Okay. Well, Indy was my my last off the board. It's my 6th pick.
Okay.
So if you are, I will talk about that one if you do.
All right, I do like that one. But after seeing, I don't even know. I've actually meant to put this on my board. I probably would have put it over the Texans pick. I like the Chiefs -3 against the Falcons. I don't know if they're at home or away.
They have to be on the road this week with the spread.
I mean, but you know, either or, I think the Chiefs are going to win this one.
Okay. Well, what do we agree on?
Cincinnati, Cleveland. I think that was it.
That's it for an official.
Let me read your picks again because I think I said I liked one that. I think I said I liked another one. So.
Yeah, totally. And for our running total, we should give our official board anyway for us. So I'm on Detroit -3, Miami +4.5, Baltimore -1, Cleveland -6.5, and Cincinnati -8 on my board.
Yeah, and then I'm Tampa Bay -7, Bills -5.5, Cincinnati -7.5, Pats +6.5, the Texans -2.5.
So we both agree on Cincinnati
Yep.
-8, Cleveland -6.5.
Cincinnati's -7.5 now.
Oh, okay. So Cincinnati -7.5, Cleveland -6.5. We both were interested in Indy, which is sitting at -1, was -2. So that's an option.
Yeah.
That's not an either or.
And I mean, look, the Colts 0-2.
Yeah, I like that.
Not very close. Actually, it's closer than we think against the Packers. It started coming back. Anthony Richardson didn't play good at all, though.
But they did play great against the Texans.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say.
It's sort of that same theory where it's like, I think like Baltimore's kind of the same way for me. Like, that's an 0-2 team that shouldn't be 0-2 right now. So I feel the same way, and I think they could pull it up.
Okay, so
you want to do it?
I'm not against it. I mean, I do like Anthony Richardson.
Okay, well, let's put that in as our temp third right now.
All right.
What else do you want to pick? So, I mean, if you pick him from my card, you get a 60% chance of winning. So just think about it that way.
Let's calm down. I like Tampa Bay -7 at home against Denver. Denver has to come down to the Heat.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, what do you think about that one?
I don't hate it. I mean, anytime you're going against Denver, it's not bad.
Yeah.
You know?
The only thing I could just like see being a little bit like worrisome is Denver does come out and they can put up 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tampa Bay only puts up like 3 or you know, they kind of downplayed at Denver. That's the only thing I could see being too worrisome. But
yeah, well, you're buying really high.
Yeah.
You're buying really high with Tampa, and Denver's not.
Yeah, I mean, but with the way Tampa's been playing, I don't know. I like that pick.
Okay. I'm pretty happy with Miami +4.5 at Seattle.
Okay.
I know it's a backup quarterback, but I think Seattle's trash. So why don't we take my Miami and your Tampa?
Yeah, you know what? I'll go with that one. I'll
trade you a Dolphin for a Pirate.
Okay.
Deal?
Sounds like a plan.
Sweet.
And then Cincinnati.
Cincinnati -7.5.
Yeah.
Cleveland -6.5.
Yep.
We both like Indy -1.
Yep.
Miami +4.5.
Mm-hmm.
And Tampa
-7.
Yeah. And that's our card.
All right. Honestly, that's pretty good.
You like it? What do you want to throw in for the Survivor? I actually have Tampa for the Survivor.
Yeah, I like Tampa for the Survivor.
I was going to say, if you're all over Tampa anyway, I mean, that sounds like a good one.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so we'll slide the Buccaneers in for our Survivor pick.
Awesome sauce.
Sweet.
All right, guys. So that's going to wrap up our show. And make sure to go follow our Instagram page. We do Friday finals, Told You Tuesdays, and we're going to start putting injury reports on there. And, you know, fantasy booms and busts, whatever. Just all that kind of fun stuff. So, yeah. And
make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, like, subscribe, hit that post notification bell. Bing. Yeah.
Have fun burning your books.